Oh, really? Oh, that's so funny. Well, I know it's just great.
I don't know what's happened by the way.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Can't feel anything, just gotta do.
Chalice is on her maybe year before.
You know, my sister did a good job of describing it, but it's not really that's right. Not the weekend. And yesterday I was distributing a phone book and he stayed for Fridays at the Mondays, and on Fridays, weekends,
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. Welcome to the soul of Sunday. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology. We affirm the worth and dignity of every being, and that we are all deeply interconnected. We are bound to one another not by creed, but by covenant. And we are called to answer the call of love with open minds, open hearts, and open hands. Whoever you are, those of all nations, all creeds, all colors, all kinds of love, you are welcome here. As we gather, we acknowledge that Arlington Street Church occupies the ancestral homeland of the Massachusetts. By making this land acknowledgement, we recognize, honor, and affirm the sovereignty of all First Nations people. Dear ones, welcome to our Zoomers and welcome to the congregation here in person. Thank you, friends, for these gorgeous pulpit flowers. It's Christmas Eve every day here. I want to make sure you get the full effect. Ready? Liz and Don, did you do that? Mm-hmm. Thank you. They're beautiful. Let us start with a very big thank you to all of you who joined in yesterday's very fun service and celebration here for Boston Pride. Did you notice it was Pride? Yeah. Let's get Queen Cheryl, would you and your retinue, everybody who helped to decorate, would you just get on your feet for a minute? It has never quite been like this. Yeah. Woo. That's great. Mark David, recently I asked the teenagers Cam and I live with for an update on the word awesome. I can tell you I'm going to really miss this resource. Here you go. Yesterday's music was fresh, bussin', smacking, fly, and righteous. Thank you. Thank you to Barbara, our parade marshal. So much fun out in the streets. And thank you, as always, to all our musicians, tech team, greeters, ushers, and to my visionary Pride co-conspirator, Reverend Joe Lubkin. Happy Pride, my friends. So, Kem joins me in welcoming all our guests this morning. I want to say good morning to the Outer Cape. My beloved Lizzie and Beth are here. My family is here in a big, long pew. Sister and brother-in-law. There's my daughter, Jessie. My cousins, Keith and Tracy. Our friends, Mary and Angela. Thank you, friends. You know where I'm going to look when I start falling apart up here. Thank you. It's so good. Let's see. I just want to say it means the world to me that all of you are here. Here we go. So this is the final Sunday of what we call the church year. Our executive minister, Reverend Beth Robbins, director of music, Mark David Buckles, and I are all headed out for our summer sabbaticals. The Arlington Street Choir, in all its glory, will be enjoying some much-deserved rest. And next Sunday, our summer services begin with a sermon by our own Reverend John O'Connor. Yeah. Some of you know it is also my final Sunday in the pulpit as your senior minister. I want to say thank you for your very warm welcome to my beloved colleague and friend, Reverend Parisa Parsa, who will be stepping up to be your transitional minister to join the dream team that is our staff. I know that Arlington Street's prophetic hospitality will be on full display as Parisa makes her way into your hearts. You will love her. This morning, thank you to Reverend Beth joining me in the pulpit, to Mark David, our professional musicians, and to our volunteers, the greeters and ushers, the tech team, live chat, coffee hour, and the Arlington Street Choir. And Mark David, do you want to come on up?
Beck, you want to come up? Beck joined our staff in the fall of 2021, almost 3 years ago, as our alto section leader. Unfortunately for us, Beck is moving, and this is their last Sunday with us, at least for a little while. They're moving to northern New York, where they plan to take time to reconnect with their family and nature, especially the Adirondack Park where they grew up. They hope this will give themselves more space for creativity, reflection, and rest so they can continue to do their work here in Boston and onward. And the good news for us is that Beck is planning to come back to town a few times each month, and they plan to continue to perform and make music in Boston. Hopefully they'll be able to be part of our music some of the time when they're here. I remember when Beck auditioned for me in 2021, it was on Zoom. Our choirs still weren't singing together, but we were planning to have our section leaders start singing and performing live. I hear a lot of auditions, and I try to be pleasant and professional to everyone, but rarely do I try to sell us to the auditionee. And I did with Beck. I just had a feeling they would really gel with our vibe, and I think I was right. Yeah. Because Beck is such a star singer, you may have not noticed that they also played guitar, bass, French horn on many occasions, including with our Easter Orchestra, and even essentially served as our go-to choir percussionist for their entire first year, playing cajon, djembe, and even a complicated conga part for my setting of the Sixth Principle. Behind the scenes, Beck has regularly suggested music and introduced me to many beautiful and powerful new songs that we've performed here. And of course, I think you've all heard them sing. I've lost count of the number of comments I've heard from you all live and in the Zoom chat about how moved you were by their singing. From folk songs to pop anthems to opera like the flower duet with Hannah a few weeks ago. They can really do it all. Beck, what a gift it's been for me to get to work with you and for us all to get to be a part of your journey. I hope this new life step is restorative and joyful and everything you hope it will be. And I hope we all continue to see you as much as works out for you. Beck, thank you, good luck, and we will miss you.
For those of you who are new to Arlington Street, what a day to come. I want to say a very special welcome to you. If you are here in person, there are welcome cards in the pew racks. Please hand yours to an usher or drop it in the basket at the great doors as you leave. For those of you in the Zoom room, please fill out a connection card. The link is in the chat. It includes the option to request the link to a recording of today's sermon. Whether you have been coming here for years or today is your very first time at Arlington Street, welcome home.
Good morning, friends. You look so beautiful out there. Welcome to Arlington Street. If you're here in person, there are printed copies of the order of service available from the ushers at the great doors. If you're on Zoom, the order of service will appear in the chat, or you can download it from the homepage at ascboston.org. As we begin our greetings, I invite the Zoomers and those here in person with a device handy to please say hello in the chat and tell us where you're zooming in from today. And now Keith is going to turn the camera on this gorgeous in-person congregation as we wave at each other and at our friends in the Zoom room. And all of you in the Zoom room can wave and smile back. This is always one of my favorite parts of the service. Hello, friends. Let's all engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends physical distance as we greet one another heart to heart. Our opening hymn this morning is Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing, which is an old Methodist hymn that dates back to the 18th century. When Reverend Kim was installed as Arlington Street's senior minister way back in 1989, Reverend Jean Navius gave her the extraordinary gift of Unitarian universalizing this beautiful hymn with 2 new verses. In 1993, when the Unitarian Universalist Association published our gray hymnal, the words young lamb were substituted for Jean's original lambkin. In response to this affront, our own Don Richter made buttons that said, Restore Lambkin to hymn 126. At Arlington Street, at the top of verse 2, we sing Lambkin. We will be led by Mark David, and you can find the words to sing along on page 126 of the gray hymnal, in the order of service, and in the chat. Let's rise now in body, rise in spirit, and sing together, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing.
Come thou fount. Come thou fount of every blessing. Tune our hearts to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise, while the hope of life's perfection fills our hearts with joy and love. Teach us ever to be faithful. May we still thy goodness prove. Come thou fount, come thou fount of every vision. Lift our eyes to what may come. See the lion and the lamb can dwell together in thy home. Hear the cries of war fall silent. Feel our love glow like the sun. When we all serve one another, then our heaven is begun. Come thou fount, come thou fount of inspiration. Turn our lives to higher ways. Lift our gloom and desperation. Show the promise of this day. Help us bind ourselves in union. Help our hands tell of our love. With thine aid, O fount of justice, earth be fair as heaven above.
Treasured ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. These candles were submitted on our website by the Friday evening deadline. If you didn't submit your candle and have a joy or a sorrow to share, please type it in the chat. Zoomers are invited to light silent candles at home. Those here in the sanctuary are invited to light a silent candle at the table up front to the right of the Gleason podium. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Whether together or apart, may we stay very close. And now, in the spirit of invocation, let's join in singing Sanctuary. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
some of us come today with heavy hearts, we open our hearts to you.
From Donna Hobart, a candle of sorrow for my cousin Marty, who is suffering from sepsis. She's been in the intensive care unit for over a week now with little progress. Our final candle of sorrow is from Sue Weta. A candle of sorrow for the loss of my colleague, Thelma Tatton, and her husband, Mark Cavallaro, who were victims of domestic violence on Thursday. Please hold their colleagues, their friends, and their entire family in your hearts.
Some of us come today in joy. We share your joy.
Our beloved Beck is going to share our first candle of joy today.
As many of you may know now, I'm leaving Boston at the end of June this month. But don't worry too much. It will only be for about a year with plenty of visits, because I don't think I could stay away from this place even if I tried. And like Mark David said, it'll be a sabbatical of sorts. I'll move back to my parents' house, and my sister, she's over here too, to reconnect with my family and the Adirondacks and my community that I grew up with. I'm hoping the upcoming year will be full of rejuvenation and creativity, and I would be so grateful to be in your thoughts and in your hearts during this time. The ASC community has held me in some of the most difficult times of my life. I'm a singer, I should be able to do this.
It's just that kind of day, Beck.
It's been the greatest gift to find you all. And I hope to keep giving and receiving such unconditional love and support. While you thank me for singing every single Sunday and bringing music in this space, I'm always thanking all of you for giving this space, for receiving every breath that I have to give. I did not know a spiritual community that could be so safe until I walked into this sanctuary. And as I'll sing later in the service, you'll be in my heart always. You have a permanent room in my heart, and I will be back. But this isn't the last chance you get to see me sing before I leave, so pay attention. I do have some upcoming performances this month. One is on Friday. It'll be in the basement at 7:30. My Lilith Ensemble, which has performed here a few times, you've probably heard of. We're going to be doing a fundraiser full of guilty pleasure songs, so it'll be a bunch of fun. And on Saturday, June 29th at 4 p.m., I'll be performing my own fundraising concert for my gender-affirming care. It's titled On My Way. It will be the first of a series of concerts about my journey of coming home to myself. I would love to have any and all of you at the concert and to thank you for your part in making me who I am. I also have a GoFundMe page where you can send donations. I think the link and the information are on the ASC homepage. Thank you. a million times. I love you all. And to quote a legend, Winnie the Pooh, how lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. Thank you.
Thank you, Beck. We love you so much. A candle of joy to the Arlington Street community from Doc Kinney. I've slowly become aware that the news of my impending open heart surgery is spreading far and wide, much more than I thought. Thank you for all of your care and concern. Monday, I have what I think will be the last test, and then we'll schedule the surgery to repair various valves, blockages, and a bulging aorta. This will be my second open heart surgery. The first was done experimentally when I was just 6 years old. It should be a busy few months ahead. In addition to my surgery, Morgan is going through tests again to see if a liver transplant can still be done. They figured since they were supposed to be gone 2 years ago and they're still here, they might see what's possible now. Again, many thanks for your kindness. I'm horrible at acknowledging it, but you are my village. Love you, Doc. A personal candle of joy from me, welcoming my niece Betsy, who's here with us today from Philadelphia, flew on the plane all by herself for the first time to be here for Pride and for Kim's last service. And, and a candle of joy for Kim and Kem as they enter this next chapter. May it be a wonderful, exciting, fun, joyous journey. Our final candle of joy is from Sharon Gentris. I was so moved and strengthened by our Pride service yesterday that I decided it was time to come out to my conservative family in the Midwest. Wait, it gets even better. I was, of course, afraid of their reaction. My mom and dad are both gone, so telling my Aunt Henrietta is the closest I will come to telling them. I'm happy, relieved, and grateful to report that the news of my engagement to Sarah was received with love and understanding. Thank you, Arlington Street family, for giving me the courage to be proud of who I am and to love who I love. I love you all. And today, I want to shout it from the highest mountain. Sarah, I love you.
the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, and for the world. Amen.
Let's join now in saying together the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another.
El amor es el espíritu de nuestra congregación y el servicio es nuestro regalo. Esto es a lo que nos comprometemos, convivir en paz, hablar nuestras verdades con amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros.
Our next hymn is James Taylor's great Shower the People. Shower the people you love with love. I think probably not a better title and message to convey what Reverend Kim has done these past 35 years. I invite us to rise in body, rise in spirit, the lyrics in your order of service and in the chat, and let's sing together. You can play the game, you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. But tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool? One thing can lead to another. It doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice, just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Do as I say and shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. And what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone. Want to tell somebody the way that you feel. You can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Do as I say and shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Just sing, shower the people. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Just keep that going. Shower the people. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. They say in every life you love with love. They say the rain must fall, just like pouring rain. Make it rain. Make it rain. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. One more time. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel.
Brad Nobles, did you really just walk in here? Brad and I worked together here at Arlington Street up until the pandemic broke, and then it was time. Brad was very wise. He retired then. Brad, it's so lovely to see you. We love you. Thank you for coming. In an interview near the end of his life, English philosopher and writer Aldous Huxley was asked, "Dr. Huxley, you have studied all the great religious and spiritual traditions. Can you summarize for us what you feel you have learned?" He replied in one sentence, "I think just to be a bit kinder." So that could be the whole sermon. But we have a little more time, so I'll say a little more. Many years ago, I took the mandatory course for anyone who supervises Harvard graduate students. It was deadly boring. The classroom was full of giants, executive directors of some of our city's greatest nonprofits. And once a week for an entire semester, we all sat facing the front while this poor academic droned on and on at us for 2 unbroken hours at a time. But literally, in the final moments of the final class, the instructor said this: "Be sure you say a good goodbye." Just that. A mandate with no instructions. I knew just enough to know that he was onto something, and that I had no earthly idea what he was talking about. Perhaps, like you, throughout my life, people have left without warning, apparently vanishing into thin air. It shattered me every time. It had never occurred to me that it could go otherwise. Over the past 5 months, with exquisite tenderness, you have forced me to listen to you tell me not just that you know that I love you, but that you love me. And that after I'm gone, you will continue to love one another and to carry on what we have created here together. Your unflinching embrace of grief and courage, your generosity and generosity of spirit have taught me how to say a good goodbye. I was supposed to teach you, but you taught me. Thank you. No crying. In the late 1980s, I was invited to attend New Mexico's Gathering of the Tribes, not on my own merit, but because my daughter Jamie, then an infant, is native South American Inca. On a beautiful summer day, we sat in a huge circle in the shade of a grove of cottonwood trees. A Hopi elder stood in the center and began his address. "We Hopi, the most ancient people." There tends to be disagreement among the tribes about who really deserves this distinction. They are all ancient. but no one contradicted him. They had conceded. And I thought of this recently at a gathering of ministers when I referred to you as the most extraordinary congregation in the Unitarian Universalist Association, or perhaps anywhere. My colleagues laughed, but no one contradicted me. And with that distinction so well deserved, like the Hopi, Arlington Street enjoys both honor and responsibility. The responsibility, as you know so well, is to continue to deepen our practice of prophetic hospitality, welcoming all people of good heart. By this mission, we live and flourish, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. I want to say a little something about flourishing. Flourishing is paying attention, showing up for our lives with openness, curiosity, creativity. It's living with purpose and meaning and caring about something bigger than what's in the mirror. We can build the flourishing muscle. The more we use it, the stronger it gets. And the superhighway to flourishing is a spiritual practice of giving service and giving thanks. Fred Johnson is a singer who has toured the world with jazz legends Miles Davis and Chick Corea. Perhaps incongruously, he has also spent years studying the silent art of mime in the tradition of Marcel Marceau. Fred began his life as a ward of the state and spent the first 5 years and a half in and out of foster homes and orphanages. As a Marine, he was sent to Vietnam at the height of the war. The lethal brutality, he says, ignited his passion for life. The only way I could get myself back after the war was to serve others. This was my way of dealing with the measure of moral injury that I felt participating in the war. The greatest outcomes, he says, are forged in the fires of suffering. Fred was chosen by two masters of West African storytelling to be trained in their tradition of the traveling jali, the person responsible for maintaining the oral history of a place as a medium of connection and healing. He says, they taught me how, at any public gathering, we can center the community through music and food, a coming together of our hearts and a totality of being. So that when we have conversations about what we should do together and how we move forward together, we are already in sensory alignment and an intentionality for the greater good. It is important for us to dream and imagine, aspire, and celebrate. To me, he continues, the art of living is to be present, so that we can really connect to the wholeness of what we have to offer each other, what we can be together, and how we can manifest in that way. We always have the capacity to connect in surprising and meaningful ways. At the heart of Fred Johnson's life is a commitment to live in joy, in heartache, and in wonder, and to continually open to blossom into the fullness of self and community. The essence of humanity, he says, is to awaken to our true selves and to our connectedness. Now more than ever, we have a tremendous opportunity to remind each other of the beauty of life and living. Each of us contains those seeds. Both individually and in community, we are called to tend our gifts and to flourish. Here's something else about flourishing. Until I enjoyed friendships with people from African nations, I might have thought this was a little bougie, but now I know that people with so many fewer resources live into this with far more exuberance than those of us in the developed world. Here it is. To flourish, we need to put ourselves in the path of awe. Here's a story about that. I heard it from Susan Magsamen and Ivy Ross, who are authors of Your Brain on Art. In the early 1950s, the polio virus was at an epidemic level. Summer outbreaks in the United States left tens of thousands, mostly children, paralyzed or dead. Second only to the atomic bomb, polio was the thing that Americans feared the most. At the University of Pittsburgh, Dr. Jonas Salk, a virologist, was working 16 hours a day in a cold, fluorescent-lit basement lab, hell-bent on a cure. He was exhausted, but it took everything in him to break away from his research and travel to Italy for a brief vacation. He walked the ancient hillside towns in Umbria, where the air was saturated with the herbal tang of olive trees, and made his way up to the Basilica of St. Francis of Assisi. The massive 13th century stone monastery shone pink in the sunlight and white in the moonlight. Passing through the ancient oak doors, he left the heat of the day for the cool earthen musk of the chapel. The stone floor had been worn too shiny by the shoes of untold thousands of pilgrims. Above him, royal blue and terracotta red 14th century frescoes were set in vaulted arches. He felt, he said, in the presence of so much beauty, so much grandeur, that every sense was unleashed. Suddenly, the possibilities were endless. And Jonas Salk, awestruck, experienced the breakthrough that led to the life-saving polio vaccine. To flourish, we need to put ourselves in the path of awe. Now I'm thinking of Reverend Fred McFeely Rogers. Mr. Rogers, receiving an award from the Television Hall of Fame. It was 1999. I commend you to the film clip on YouTube. The presenter was Jeff Erlanger. Jeff, who uses an electric wheelchair, who had first appeared in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood at the age of 10, talking with Mr. Rogers about his recent surgery and how his wheelchair works and what you can do when you're sad. Together they sang, "It's You I Like." At the awards ceremony, Jeff, by then 29 years old, dressed in a tux, rolls onto center stage. Mr. Rogers leaps from his chair, his face flooded with surprise and joy, and hops right up onto the stage to embrace his friend. The camera pans across the audience, which is applauding thunderously, tears streaming down beautiful, open faces. And Jeff says, "You know, when you tell people that it's you I like, we know you really mean it. And tonight, I want to let you know, on behalf of millions of grown-ups and children, it's you I like." And then, in part, Mr. Rogers says this: fame is a 4-letter word, and like tape or Zoom or life or love What ultimately matters is what we do with it. Life isn't cheap. It's the greatest mystery of any millennium, and we need to show and tell what good there is in life. But he says, how do we make goodness attractive? By doing whatever we can to bring courage to those whose lives move near our own. By treating our neighbor at least as well as we treat ourselves, and allowing that to inform everything. He continues, who in your life has been a servant to you? Who has helped you love the good that grows within you? In a medium that is all about image, sound, action, and that costs maybe $1,000 a minute, Mr. Rogers did something absolutely unheard of on television. Let's just take 10 seconds, he says, to think of some of those people who have loved us and wanted what was best for us in life. Those who have encouraged us to become who we are. Just 10 seconds of silence. I'll watch the time. Let's do it, all of us, right now. 10 seconds of gratitude. I'll watch the time. Mr. Rogers concludes, no matter where they are, either here or gone before us, imagine how pleased those people would be to know that you thought of them right now. Always, always remember that you are loved beyond measure. Someone asked if I were going to give you one last instruction. As if I'd been keeping something a secret or holding something in reserve all these years, saving it just for today. I wasn't, and I'm not. I've spent it as fast as I came to me, beginning and ending with that. You are loved beyond measure. But I'll remind you of this passage from Sue Monk Kidd's The Secret Life of Bees. August is a beekeeper, and she is teaching Lily, a teenager, about what she calls bee yard etiquette. Okay, in Lily's words, here it comes. She reminded me that the world was really one big bee yard, and the same rules work just fine in both places. Don't be afraid. No life-loving bee wants to sting you. Still, don't be an idiot. Wear long sleeves and long pants. Don't swat. Don't even think about swatting. If you feel angry, whistle. Anger agitates, while whistling melts a bee's temper. Act like you know what you're doing, even if you don't. And above all, send the bees love. Every little thing wants to be loved. Reverend Don Wells, my good colleague at Old South Church, United Church of Christ, sent me 3 pages of instructions about the 4 things I should say to you today. I laughed because when I read them, they are familiar from my training as a hospice chaplain. It has been an uphill battle for me to get away from Queen Cheryl's metaphor of the Last Supper with a really grim outcome for me. All joking aside, I will tell you what they are, not only because they are the hallmark of a good goodbye, I am doing my best. And in case it's not obvious, they're also true. Ready? Okay, wait a sec. For all the ways that I have fallen short, please forgive me. For any way in which you have fallen short, you might have fallen short. You are already forgiven. I love you. Thank you. And farewell. I carry with me your love. I leave you my love. Beloved spiritual companions, starting at about the age of 12, I had a recurring dream that I was on a beautiful island. And in my dream, everyone I loved was gathered there in one place. And in different iterations, my people would meet each other and they would love each other. When I told a friend about my dream, she said, "That's a dream about heaven, what heaven would be for you." In our years here together, my dream has come true. This is heaven. Thank you for our years together. Thank you for our good goodbye. May you, may we, may all beings fare well and flourish. Know that I will be cheering you on. I carry you in my heart. I will always love you. I will always love you. I will always love you. Amen.
Thank you, Arlington Street Choir. That was not easy. Thank you, Mark David. Friends, Arlington Street is entirely self-sustaining, and our generosity is astounding. Thank you for your commitment to our staff, our building, and our beloved spiritual community. Each Sunday, we share our collection with a partner in our mission of love, service, justice, and peace. This month's beneficiary is Gay for Good, supporting goodwill and understanding between the LGBTQ+ and greater communities through collaborative volunteer service projects. Our tech team lead, Art Nava, serves as a member of the leadership team, of course. His husband, our videographer, Richard Brew, is an active volunteer. Let's make our gifts in celebration of their extraordinary leadership and service. With this bittersweet day of Kim's retirement drawing ever closer, we've all been thinking a lot about legacy. With 40 years of ministry, Reverend Kim is leaving an extraordinary professional legacy of milestones and accomplishments. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this woman has single-handedly impacted what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist and/or a queer person in this country today. While we are so proud to claim our Kim as a powerful driver of social justice movements, most of us would likely say that her most powerful impact is actually much, much smaller. Small enough to fit right here. In the heart that's beating in each one of us. Kim's extraordinary love has rewired our hearts, and that has changed everything. As Kim and I have planned for this transition, she has said many times that her greatest wish is that this beautiful congregation continue to flourish. That, my friends, is up to us. We'll do that by continuing to show up and loving each other the way Kim has taught us. We'll also do that by ensuring Arlington Street's financial health. Though it makes Kim squirm, we created a legacy fund in her name to raise the enormous amount of money needed to upgrade our archaic steam heat system and to get out from under the extraordinary burden of covering literally thousands of dollars in heating bills each month in the winter. And it's a long winter. When Kim and I first came up with this idea, it was a bit of a pipe dream. We thought we could, we thought we could seed a fund and keep working on it, in the years to come. But the generosity of this community has wildly exceeded our hopes. Just this week, $40,000 in gifts have come in for Kim's Legacy Fund. Our ever generous Jeffrey Thompson and David Gennaro have pledged $35,000, $1,000 for each year of Kim's service to Arlington Street Church. Just a few more gifts like that, and we can install right now the $250,000 system we so desperately need. How amazing would it be to have our new HVAC system in place the first time we welcome Kim back to this sanctuary as our minister emerita? Please take a moment now to join me in building the fund for Kim's legacy of warmth. If you've already given, don't worry. You can give again. And again. You can give online at ascboston.org or check the order of service or the chat for instructions for how to give via QR code, Venmo, or text message. You can also mail a check to the church or use the envelopes in the pews, which can be given to the ushers as they come through momentarily with collection plates. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to make a Jeffrey and David size pledge, or if you need help with a stock transfer, a retirement fund disbursement, or a bequest. Thank you for helping to ensure a fitting legacy for the person who most embodies a spirit of warmth. Kim, we love you beyond measure. Thank you all.
Come stop your crying, it will be alright. Just take my hand, hold it tight. I will protect you from all around you. I will be here, don't you cry. For one so small, you seem so strong. My arms will hold you, keep you safe and warm. The bond between us can't be broken. I will be here, don't you cry. 'Cause you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. You'll be in my heart. No matter what they say, you'll be here in my heart, always. Sometimes we can't express the way we feel. You'll learn to trust what you can't explain. I may seem different, but deep inside us, we're not that different at all. It's you'll be in my heart. Yes, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. No matter what happens, there's one thing I know. We need each other to help us grow. You'll see in time, I know. When destiny calls you, you must be strong. I may not be with you, but you've got to hold on. You'll see in time, I know. We'll always be together, 'cause you'll be in my heart. Believe me, you'll be in my heart. From this day on, now and forevermore. Oh, you'll be in my heart. No matter what they say, you'll
Thank you, Mark David. Thank you, Youngju and Beck. Thank you. Friends, life is continuing on after today, I promise. Here's what's happening this week. There are gatherings in the Arlington Street Zoom room for loving kindness meditation, poetry, yoga, and writing. Thanks to all of our wonderful lay leaders who are keeping the Zoom room lively throughout the summer. For all the offerings, information and Zoom links are available at ascboston.org. To attend, you don't have to be a member. You don't have to turn on your video or talk if you don't want to, and they're all free. Following today's service, everyone is welcome to join the virtual coffee hour. If you'd like to participate, just answer yes to the breakout room invitation that will appear on your Zoom screen. If you're here in person, we'll gather in the Honeywell Chapel for a live chat coffee hour through the leather door to the right of the pulpit. Thanks to all who joined in today's service and to all those who made it possible. Before we introduce our final hymn, and I wish you a wonderful summer and tell you that I love you, and I love you so much, we're gonna take a moment to honor our beloved Reverend Kim and shower her with our gratitude and our love. Reverend Allie, will you please join me in the high pulpit to help us bless Reverend Kim?
Reverend Kim, you have delivered so many blessings within and beyond these walls. Through marriages and child dedications, races and marches, pandemic and epidemic, installations and ordinations, illnesses and deaths, tragedies and triumphs, your hands and your spirit have blessed us. As you prepare to retire, we want to bless you. When we planned the laying on of hands for my ordination, Reverend Kim said, it's important to make sure someone is holding on to you when receiving such a blessing. Reverend Beth and Kim's job is to hold on to you. I'm going to invite the three of you to move now to the center of the center aisle. To all of you, our beloved spiritual community here in person and on Zoom, we are going to do this together. Reverend Kim deserves to be blessed by all of us who love her. Your participation makes this blessing holy. Please take a moment now to think about Reverend Kim. It can be more than 10 seconds. Feel your love for her and reflect on your hopes for Kim as she embarks on this next chapter. With this love in your heart, please rise in body or in spirit. I'd like to invite members of Kim's family to please come forward and put a hand on Kim or someone touching Kim. If you are a member of Arlington Street's leadership or one of our affiliated community ministers, will you please come and join Kim's family in surrounding Kim? Members of our congregation, please move toward the center aisle, close enough to touch the shoulder of someone near you, so that we make a web of connected hands and hearts, touching Kim and sending our love. And Zoomers, please face in the direction of Boston and extend your hands, sending out love to Reverend Kim. Are you ready? Reverend Kim. Invite everyone to, good, you got your hands perfect. Reverend Kim, may you know the magnitude of your impact and may it take your breath away. May you have beautiful harbors and sturdy shelters for all that is hard in this transition. May meaning and beauty and joy be on your horizon. May you draw peace knowing the commitment in this community to continue to uplift and uphold one another. May you rest in the assurance that your legacy of service and love lives on in us. May the love and care you've woven into this place be an eternal force blessing our world. Our beloved spiritual companion, may this moment of love forever bless your heart. Instead of ending this blessing with an amen, when I lift up my arms, I invite everyone to join me in blessing Reverend Kim in the only way we could, with the words, "We love you." 1, 2, 3. We love you. As we return to our seats, I want to invite Queen Cheryl to come forward. But Kim, Kem, and Reverend Beth, you have to stay put. Reverend Kim, we want you to be able to return to this blessing again and again. Queen Cheryl has been collecting cards for months. We present these to you now as the tangible manifestation of our blessing. A quote from our Queen: "You can leave, but we are coming with you." Never forget that we will remain connected forever, heart to heart. We love you so much.
Our closing hymn is "Life Calls Us On." I invite us to rise in body, rise in spirit, and let's sing together. Here we go. Here in reverence now we gather, for the blessings we have known, with a pledge to one another, that we journey not alone. Joy and sorrow
of those before us. Waken here to keep us strong. Blend our voices in the chorus of creation's
living song. Courage bids us lift our eyes upward to the shining skies. Hope calls us on. Hope calls us on. Loyal guides in love and duty, lead us with untrusted light. Blessed are they whose inward beauty shows the path of truth and right. Honor is their earthly prize. By their work we realize faith calls us on. Faith calls us on. We have shared a radiant hour when the truth has made us free, and the Spirit's gracious power dreamed of good that yet shall be. Bright the path before us lies. Joyful pilgrims, now we rise. Life calls us on. Life calls us on. Life calls us on. Life calls us on. Over time. Life calls us on. Life calls us on.
Before our benediction, I invite those of you in the Zoom room, my beloveds, please reach out your hands and touch the sides of your square. And those of you in the sanctuary, please raise your hands, palms out. Let us send loving kindness to the people to your left and to your right. Send loving kindness to the person on either side of you and to the people on either side of them. Send out love into this beloved spiritual community and feel it coming back to you. Love is the spirit of this congregation. And now for our benediction, I invite you to put your hands over your heart in Namaste. I bow to the divine in you. American poet E.E. Cummings. With you, I leave a remembrance of miracles. Miracles are to come. Let us keep this faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Bless your hearts. I will always love you. Amen. I invite you to be seated for the choral benediction.
May the
Please visit ascboston.org for more information about this historic Unitarian Universalist congregation. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.